am Kirin, Elder Dragon, mythical bringer of lightning, and I am all powerful. Oh my god! Kirin, Elder Dragon, don't seem too impressive to me.
Let's be honest, my fellow hunters, and hello or welcome. Alright, listen up everybody, you can either be greeted or you can feel welcome, but you cannot have both, okay? I'm not running a charity here. Anyway, Elder Dragons are, by and large, let's be honest, probably making up at least half of any given Monster Hunter's top 10 list. They are the cool category, right? Where you can get a bit crazy, where you can have weird and strange and wonderful powers and spectacle fights, and where things just get real. And because of all of that, you have some incredibly badass designs, you have some wondrous moments that you never forget, you have these awe-inspiring creatures that reign at the top of the food chain of the entire Monster Hunter world, living forces of nature that inspire terror, fear, and awe wherever they go, feared by the common man of Monster Hunter, and monitored, tracked, and treated with utmost respect and caution by the guild. And yes, we slaughter them by the dozen, but the point I'm trying to make is they are the most powerful beings on the whole in Monster Hunter. But that begs the question then, which are the weakest Elder Dragons? Which are the Elder Dragons that perhaps don't quite deserve the title of Elder Dragon, at least on a power merit? I thought this would be kind of easy to come up with an answer to, right? And then I looked at them all and I was like, no, I mean, they're all pretty ridiculous, that's kind of the point, and the fact it was difficult to choose made me want to choose even more. So sit back, relax, this video's gonna rule as I tell you which Elder Dragons just aren't quite as cool. I'm so sorry. Coming in then at number 5 is...
Vaal Hazak. Wait, really? Me? I'll kill you! And I won't kill you, but my effluvium will kill you, which is like me killing you! Vaal Hazak!
I don't know what it is, but that's the kind of personality I can only see for Vaal Hazak. And at this point, as you're sat there going, excuse me, what? Seriously, I imagine I'm going to scroll down to the comments and I'm going to see a literal excuse me, what? And I'm going to be disappointed now if I don't, but bear in mind, okay, the disclaimer here is these are all still incredibly powerful monsters and Elder Dragons because they are Elder Dragons, alright? They're not here for no reason, but I had to pick, I had to force myself to choose which 5 I genuinely thought were overall weakest in the category. And, well, the least weak of the weakest I honestly want to label as Vaal Hazak, and I'll tell you for why, because the effluvium is ridiculous. It's a, well, flesh-eating bacteria swarm that he controls at a whim. That's pretty cool. That's pretty potent. You don't want to go near him. Literally. In the Rotten Vale. And therein lies the rub. Because he is master of his domain, but only his domain. And I was looking at the list of Elder Dragons, and I was like, okay, most of them, no matter where they are incredibly bad, no dangerous. Whereas Vaal Hazak, you take him out of the Rotten Vale, he will eventually run out of effluvium, and then he's kinda pathetic. His physical attacks aren't that well intimidating. His ultimate attack is pretending to be dead and then doing a kind of flail. So when he's out of effluvium, which is his whole shtick, then he's really just as threatening as a creature of his size and strength, which in the Monster Hunter world isn't terribly threatening on balance. Now, of course, you can say, okay, well, what if, you're fighting a Kirin and he runs out of lightning? Well, yes, but there's also lightning everywhere. Anywhere you put Kirin, if there's a sky, he can use his lightning. He's not weakened by terrain. Yes, I know, what if you put Kirin underground in a cave, or what if Vaal Hazak kills something with the effluvium he starts with and then feeds the body of the thing that he's killed to the effluvium, multiplying more effluvium and eventually creating his own little mini Rotten Vale that he expands out with ever-reproducing effluvium. I'm trying my best here. There are, of course, going to be some holes, because there's also strong, but some are weak. Whereas a Vaal Hazak in the desert, apart from being thirsty and warm, is going to run out of effluvium. Obviously there's Black Veil, but he works on fungi mixed with effluvium, so as long as it's in the forest or the Rotten Vale, he's good. So he's a 2-terrain Vaal, a double improvement, but you put, again, him in the desert, and again, he's gonna have a bad time as the days pass. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with him. I think he's too reliant on his environment to not be a serious contender for weakest Elder Dragon, despite the fact that, yes, when he has home turf advantage, he is monumentally more fearsome. Next up then, at number 4...
I am Kirin, Elder Dragon, mythical bringer of lightning, and I am all-powerful. Oh my god!
Now, while you might be experiencing some deja vu, well, there's a reason for it. Kirin is my choice. Now, this was a hard choice to make, because on paper, Kirin is still a Kirin. Doesn't matter if he's standing on paper or concrete or rock. I don't know what you expected to change there. Really, why? I just thought it'd be funny! So, Kirin, on paper, is exceptionally powerful. He summons literal lightning, which, while I would wager isn't powerful as actual lightning, though then again his horn acts as a lightning rod, so it might well be actual lightning, but if it was actual lightning, it would be, like, ungodly. Like lightning, I don't think you realize how deadly lightning is. In fact, if you're uninsulated, I don't think there's a single worse thing that can happen to you in the entire world than being struck by lightning. It is nature's true executioner guillotine drop, and it's kind of awe-inspiring and terrifying because of it. So a monster that wields it so freely and, well, potently as Kirin does, it's like, well, okay, really? Weakest? Come on now. Well, the thing is, he's always been a frail Elder Dragon. He's the smallest, the physically weakest, and the easiest to put down. I mean, just look at a horse with a broken leg. What else can you do? Alright, that was maybe a little bit too dark. But in any case, the reason he is here, the reason I can't not put him on this list, is because he's pretty much the only Elder Dragon that confirmed is hunted, beaten, and killed by not an Elder Dragon. Now don't get me wrong, there are plenty of monsters that are as strong or as powerful or can go toe-to-toe or could probably beat and fight and kill Elder Dragons. A Cantor could kill lots of Elder Dragons, but we haven't seen him do that, we haven't been told he's done that, we haven't had it confirmed that he's done that, whereas Kirin being, well, literally hunted, the prey item, and I think that's where it really does come into play. Kirin can't just be beaten by RageGang. RageGang is his predator. Like, if an Akantor fought a Teostra, it would be an epic battle of epic proportions, and I think Akantor would win, but it would be a battle. Whereas you wouldn't say that Akantor hunts Teostra as prey, whereas RageGang does. Now, of course, RageGang is a ridiculously powerful monster, but still, certainly not an Elder Dragon, but he actively hunts and kills Kirin by the dozen, or at least as many as he can find. So I can't not put an Elder Dragon that gets hunted, that is prey to a not Elder Dragon, on this list. So Kirin it is. Next up then is Mr. Lao-Shan Lung himself. Now this one is again hard to really discuss, as is everything on this list, of course, and that is because simply he is massive, and anything that massive is going to be powerful and potent. But I'm trying to look at it objectively in the scale of Elder Dragons. Lao-Shan Lung is perhaps the only one outside of Base Nerd Gigante who has literally no shenanigans. And by shenanigans I mean some special powers, some elements, some blight, some kind of mystical force that they can summon, control, wield, manipulate. I mean, even something like Chameleos has base poison to work with, and then of course the mist as well, but like, there really isn't another Elder Dragon that just has nothing extra. He is just a big four-legged lizard, and is as strong as a big four-legged lizard of that size is. And that's it. He's plain. He's the vanilla dragon. And despite that size, because he lacks anything special, I think he would get defeated by pretty much every other Elder Dragon, even the small ones, because you can't really stop something like an Gigante flying up to his head, landing on his head, and then just digging in, both literally and metaphorically. So I can't not put Mr. Lao-Shan Lung on this list. Next up is one that really breaks my heart. Hello! It's Chameleos. This one I fought long and hard by, because at this point it was getting incredibly hard to choose. The three that I've talked about, the one that's at number 1, were fairly straight came to mind. I after a little bit of humming and ahhing, but the last one was difficult, and I've gone with Chameleos because simply he just doesn't have that ruthless edge. Okay, apart from that, my heart. But the poison is of course brutal, it is potent, it is going to do damage. The mist is annoying to deal with, you can't see him. Literally, he can sneak up on you and on. But in the grand scheme of Elder Dragon battles, yes, Chameleos counters Kushala and therefore would probably beat him, but that's a direct counter. But in the general sense, he's not especially physically strong. His poison isn't especially threatening to other creatures of his size and power. He isn't going to just, like what can he do? He's got, physical attacks, the whippy tongue, which is effective against hunters, but not against other big monsters, other large creatures. He is a bag of tricks designed to be a nightmare for a person. But that bag of tricks, while it might confuse another monster, isn't anywhere near as threatening to them. Yes, the Chameleos can poison an enemy and then hide forever. That's the cheesy way out, that's the cheap way out. But is that power? When you think of powerful Elder Dragons, is this incredible quirky boy what comes to mind? Not to me. And I love Chameleos. You can tell I'm not biased here because he's in my top 5 favorite monsters of all time. But in the ring of combat of elders of raw onslaught, he just doesn't really hold up. He has got max utility but minimum raw strength in any category, and that really holds him back in my eyes. But not as much as number 1. Now if you'll excuse me, I must listen to the greatest thing in all of Monster Hunter. Oh, I love it so much. Yeah, so that may give it away. Ceadeus, whichever you prefer. I like Ceadeus. He is got to be the weakest Elder Dragon. And look, he's a whale. He requires water. He lives in water. And while he might breathe air, if I go back to the Vaal Hazak argument of take the Elder Dragon out of the environment and suddenly it becomes kinda useless, this might be a cheap way out. This might be a little bit of a cheat. But you put Ceadeus on land and suddenly like a Velocidrome could kill him. Now, of course, it's not just that. That would be a little bit too cheap even for me. But he kind of suffers from the Lao-Shan Lung problem, but Aqua Edition. Yes, he has water, right? He has water beams. He has a big, powerful water cannon. But it's still just water. It's a water jet. It's not roaring flame, piercing lightning, frigid ice, raw dragon thundering. Though there is a version of him with a little bit of dragon, but even so, it's not like he's going to be crackling it down from the sky. He is just a big whale that can spit out water fast. And while anything that his physical size can body, can overwhelm with sheer strength, is suddenly a factor, and yes, he is threatening to Nikakos, who is one of the strongest Elder Dragons, and honestly likely a candidate for the 5 strongest Elder Dragons, at least if you discount the Black Dragons. That's again because he very much specially counters Nikakos. He is built to tank that creature because it is his prey. And I realize the prey argument is what put Kirin on the list, but I can't justify Nikakos of all things just because another Elder Dragon hunts him. It's not really the same as a non-Elder Dragon. The point is, he only works in water, which I don't want to hold against him too much, but it has to be said, when compared to every other Elder Dragon, at least the Morans can still operate on land. And yes, I know you might bring up the argument, okay, we'll put all the other Elder Dragons underwater, what happens if they drown? I know, I'm trying here, okay, but I'm trying. But look, he's here because I just see him as the underwater Lao-Shan Lung. He's big, he's slow, he uses his physical prowess more than anything, and that's basically as strong as he is. But he gets an extra water beam, but he's also bound to underwater, so not that threatening in the grand scheme of things, so he gets the number 1 spot. And that's kind of how I sees it. Don't get me wrong, again, I absolutely adore him, but he is a gentle giant. It's what makes him endearing. He's not aggressive or threatening, he's not full of bloodlust, he is one of the softest, sweetest Elder Dragons. He's only upset because his horn grows and irritates him. Apart from that, he's such a just fantastical creature that really isn't going to be a threat, and he's not built for combat. He's just a big whale trying to get a haircut, or a hard cut, and, well, we help him do that, and then also die, and it's very sad. But I do think on balance, he's probably the least threatening Elder Dragon of them all. But that said, I want you guys to weigh in on this because this is such a hard decision. Just get up the list of Elder Dragons and try and come up with this for yourself because it's genuinely quite the challenge. It really, really is. But that is where I have fallen, so let me know what you think. Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more. Please consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below. And until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.